What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters, and welcome to Life to Metal. It's time for a rock metal update. What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters, and welcome to Life to Metal. And what are we doing today, Brucey?
We're drinking Martian poop.
Yep, we are going to try Martian poop soda. The kids picked this one out to try and do a video on. So, not something I probably would have picked up myself and tried. But this is Martian berry flavor soda. Why they call it Martian poop, I do not know. They got nuclear green poop on there, yet it's not nuclear green. So, just a fad kind of thing, or I don't know what to call it, fad or whatever. Oops. Let's get this thing and pop open and see what if it's good or not, huh? You think it's gonna be good? Do you think it's gonna be good?
Yeah.
Even though it's poop?
Yeah.
You think it's gonna be good poop?
Yeah.
You think it's gonna be good poop, Callie?
No.
You think it's gonna be yucky?
What's it good?
Oh, yuck, it's poopy. I'm gonna try it. It's really yucky. Okay, your sister try it.
It's good.
It's good? You like poop? Callie, you really like poop? Let's try it. Is it good?
Yeah.
No, it's not good. You don't like it?
Yeah.
It's actually not bad. It's kind of a very seltzery, very kind of sweet. I don't know what what's this thing called? Martian berry is, but yeah, it's just a kind of a sweet berry flavored soda. It actually is better than it sounds. Well, obviously, anything called Martian poop sounds gross. There you go. But yeah, it's not bad. I like it. Would I buy it again? Probably not. A little too sweet for my liking, but the kids like it. So, hey.
We can hold it, Pop.
All right. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
Wait. Did you like it, Brucey?
Yeah.
Did you like it, Callie Ray?
No.
No? Do you want some more?
Yeah.
But you don't like it, but you want some more? Okay, here, you can have some more.
Pop.
There you go. Have some more and then let go, Brucey. And then tell me if you like it or not.
Hey, Callie. No.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay, it's good. So there you have it. I'll be right back with a rock metal update. That's right. Going to do an all 12-inch vinyl update this time around. Just a handful of albums here. Some of them I've had for a while, just haven't shown them yet, so I'm going to get right into this. First one up, I picked this one up out in Arizona when I was there a few months ago. This is Gillan Magic. This is the last album for the Gillan band, Gillan proper band, with, the classic lineup of John McCoy and all those guys. Easily as good as any of the other Gillan albums. Let me pull this one out because this is a picture disc, like I said. I have an original pressing on black vinyl. I found this picture disc one fairly cheap, so I was just like, I'm going to grab it as well. So, it just has a sheet in front of it here. It's actually, if you look at closely, you can see there's kind of little pinholes right there in the corner. So somebody must have had that hanging on their wall. But yeah, there's the picture disc, and the back's printed. Yeah, it's a good album from them. They're really solid. I'd call it in the new wave of British heavy metal style. It's got, of course, the big Deep Purple influence, being that Ian Gillan was the singer in the band, and it's got some of the bluesy vibes that a lot of the bands had back then in the early '80s. This one was actually probably mid '80s, 82. I think it was 82, somewhere in there. I don't know, but like I said, just solid, British hard rock, heavy metal, and great album from them. Magic, last album from Gillan Band. And I don't think I've ever even seen this before, so I was kind of surprised to find it, and surprised to find it for such a good price. I gave it a spin. Pictures are kind of rough because you can't tell if they're, how well they're going to play. But it sounded great, so whoever had it took care of it, which is nice. This is a newer release. This is Razor Live in Osaka. The name of the album is actually Live Osaka Saku, S-A-I-K-O-U Saku. And I showed this one in I think a CD video not long ago. Grabbed the vinyl. It was put out by High Roller Records. I found it at Shadow Kingdom it was pretty inexpensive. I don't know if they still have copies or not, but man, this is a stellar live release. The recording is great. The band was tight. As tight as you want Razor to be. It's not so tight that it's stiff. It still has that rawness and that sloppiness that Razor are known for. But it's just a great record. It is a gatefold, 2-album set. I'm sorry, 1-album set. Just a gatefold. There you go, there's the center. It's pretty much career-spanning live album recorded in Japan. Like I said, great sound. High Roller put it out on vinyl, and then some Japanese company put it out on CD. So yeah, I managed to grab both for good prices. Razor, classic Canadian thrash metal. If you don't like live albums, well, I don't understand that because I love live albums. But if you don't like live albums, I'm going to say that the recording on this is great. I don't think you'll be disappointed because not only does it capture, the band's sound really well, but it also captures the energy of the band on stage. And the crowd is there, but it's not like annoying. It's not all out in front. So, but the crowd definitely delivers the energy as well. Speaking of Canada, I think this was the, I don't know, second or third release. It might have been the second release, 70, 78, somewhere in that area for Prizm. See Forever Eyes, and I've just been kind of on a Prizm kick recently. I've been on a Canadian rock and metal kick for the last couple years or more. But Greg the Egg, or Blackmore Rules, he actually hooked me up with a Prizm album that just kind of hooked me. And then another buddy of mine, Darren Hildebrandt, he also hooked me up with another Prizm album. So I had like the bookends of this album. So I went ahead and found a copy of this one. I just bought it from Discogs, and I got it. I don't know, I was under $10. I think with shipping it was probably like $10, and it's in stellar shape. This is kind of I just call it hard rock. Definitely not 70s metal. It's more along the lines of like a, I don't know, maybe an Angel or Zon or Stars, kind of in that area. Maybe even like the harder rocking Styx, that kind of stuff. Kind of proggy, mixture of keyboards and guitars. It's not all just riff heavy. It's kind of proggy, but I call it more like a pump rock than I would prog rock. Regardless, very good album from them. I've been enjoying it over the last 2 weeks since I received it. I think I played it 2 or 3 times already, and yeah, very good album from Prizm. So 1978, I think this one said this one was, yeah, 1978. This is actually a U.S. pressing of this one on the Areola label. All right, these next, let's see, I'll show those last since there's 3 of them. Yeah. Let's just stay on the Canada kick for a minute. This is the brand new Helix compilation, which is called, what is this thing called? Icon Series. I was surprised it was released on vinyl. Very obscure vinyl release from Europe only. Unfortunately, it wasn't released. I don't even think it was released in Canada on vinyl. And the band, I think, had a few copies that they've already sold out of. So I jumped on it as soon as it came out, knowing that it was going to disappear as quickly as it came out, and that seems to have been the case. So, but yeah, it's just a compilation. But I'm a Helix fanatic, and I buy anything from them. And this one deserves to be in the collection. It's got 2 songs that, well, it's got 1 song that was never released on vinyl, which is Gene Simmons Says Rock is Dead, which is kind of a funny song, kind of a comeback to, Gene's over the last few years saying that rock is dead, but what he's really saying is the money's not there. Anyhow, it's a really cool song. And then it's also got on here, Even Jesus Wasn't Loved in His Hometown, which of course is from the recently released on vinyl, Bastard of the Blues, which was cool because then, that's on the label. Yeah, this is on Universal Music, so this is, nationwide. Got a CD copy coming from a friend in Canada as well. Apparently it's only like $5 on CD out in Canada, so if you ever see it, it's well worth picking up. Alright, is that it for the Canada rock? I believe so. Alright, this one's kind of an obscurity. Might even throw a clip of this one in there because it looks worse than it is. This is Scarlet Red. This is on the Pure Metal label. Anything on the Pure Metal label on vinyl seems to be hard to find these days. But yeah, you can kind of see the band. The lighting's not great in here today. It's actually kind of stormy and dark outside today. Actually, it's kind of cold here in New Mexico. I almost had to put a shirt on with sleeves. And but yeah, you can see it's kind of even hard to tell who there's a girl singer in this band. Kind of hard to tell who the girl is, right? They all look kind of glammy, and indeed they do have a glam sound about them, but they're a little heavier than that. They kind of remind me of like maybe early Crew, maybe early Dokken, you know, where it was really still kind of had the edge of metal, and that's what you're going to get with Scarlet Red. Don't Dance with Danger. Yeah, I like this album. I've had it on CD for years. Ran across this copy in someone's trade list, and I just made a trade for it right across the board. So, very cool. Again, it's on the Pure Metal label. Doesn't have much on the way of the inside, but it does come with a lyric sheet, which is pretty basic, black and white. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull this out just so you can see this is the classic Pure Metal logo label. Like I said, pretty much anything on that label is collectible. Not everything on that label was great, but they did have some good stuff, and I really think that Scarlet Red was one of them. Fortunately, I think that was the only full-length album, or at least the full proper album that they released. They might have had some demos and stuff, but as far as I know, it's the only album they ever released. This was a Record Store Day pickup. I did not go to Record Store Day. I don't know, I just don't do that whole Black Friday thing, and frankly in New Mexico there's not really any record stores that take part in that, because anyhow, big long story. But I did happen to go into Target, just had to pick up some stuff, and went into Target and noticed I had this big stack of Jimi Hendrix smash hits with the original cover on it, right in the front of the store in a cardboard display. And yeah, this is a Black Friday release from Target. It was exclusive to Target on Record Store Day, which is kind of unusual. But it was 15 bucks. Brand new, still sealed, 180 gram vinyl. Very nice. I was kind of shocked. So I snagged this. It was, you know, I'm a huge Hendrix fan to begin with. I haven't even cracked a seal on this one yet, because it is a greatest hits album and I have all that stuff, but I'll still probably give it a listen before it goes into the collection. It's just very cool to get the original cover, which actually makes more sense than the cover that was re-released on it, because it goes along with the pictures on the back. But yeah, all the stuff you know: Purple Haze, Fire, Wind Cries Mary, Can You See Me, Hey Joe, All Along the Watchtower, Stone Free, Crosstown Traffic, Manic Depression, Remember, Red House, and Foxy Lady. Very cool. That was definitely... It's funny, 15 bucks is like cheap for vinyl now. I would never... I mean, 15 bucks used to be the going price for CDs. Now, CDs are, you know, brand new or 15 bucks, new releases, but, I mean, you could find CDs for as low as $3, $4, $5. Records, $15 is actually cheap. Most albums selling now for between, you know, $25 and $30 or more. It's a little bit of a bummer on this one. And I'm sure every record collector has done this. I got this in a, also in a trade, and just one of the Armored Saint albums I was listening to. I really like this album from them. It's just a straightforward heavy metal album. What you want to hear from Armored Saint. John Butch sounds as good as ever. But if you look right here, I don't know how well it's going to translate on the... Yeah, you can see it in the glare right there. You see that bend? It was one of those things where I was putting, you know, had the record in my hand, I was putting it away, and kind of, you saw the whole slow motion thing, and I had it in my hand, I dropped it, and it was like, oh crap! As it went and poof, hit the corner on the floor, and just, man, it just biffed it good. But it didn't hurt the vinyl at all, and it really didn't even crease the back. It's weird that it only creased the front. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I hate that, and I'm sure just about every person who plays records, or who's a record collector, has done that more than one time. You drop a record and you're just hoping for the best when it hits the ground. But yeah, kind of a bummer, but great record from them. Gatefold album, 2 album sets. solid, straightforward American heavy metal. I guess today's standards it would be called U.S. power metal, but it doesn't have that. It doesn't push the border towards thrash at all. It's just straightforward metal. If you know Armored Saint, you know what to expect. It's exactly what they do, and they do best. So this was another find I got in out in Phoenix when I was out there, and I was shocked to find this one. I had never even seen this before. It's got a little bit of a wear. It's, you know, it's got some age to it, but I don't care. I've never seen this cover. This is the original pressing of Mama's Boys self-titled album on Pussy Records, which was the independent label from Ireland, where they're from. And what was I gonna say? Was it Ireland? Yeah, Ireland. And yeah, it's this record's in pristine shape. It plays perfect, and I absolutely love this album. I just didn't really realize that this album had a different cover on it for some reason until I saw it sitting on the shelf, and I pulled it out. I'm like, what is that? Yeah, so I love this record. This is, if you could only own one Mama's Boys record, this is the one to own. It's just everything on this Crazy Daisy's House of Dreams. It's just a huge, memorable, heavy song. Runaway Dreams is brilliant. Of course, they do the cover of Mama We're All Crazy Now on here, which came out around or exactly the same time as Quiet Riot's. Quiet Riot's was a big, huge hit. Mama's Boys, not so much, at least not in the U.S. However, I am with most people who have heard both versions. I think Mama's Boys did it best. So, Gentleman Rose, this is just a great album. There's just, if you like the Mama's Boys at all, or you like that whole new wave of British heavy metal sound from the early 80s, this album is brilliant. Of course, you got the Professor on guitar and violin. Don't let the violin fool you. This is not orchestral at all, but there is some cool sort of violin stuff in a song or two. It's not throughout the whole record. Just a great record. Again, it's not really, you know, new wave of British heavy metal because it's not British, but it's from that time period. It's got that influence on it. Just a great band. This is actually a gift from Aaron, the Metal Theologian. And I opened it up because I was expecting a box from him, but it was not a, you know, VCLT or whatever you want to call it. But this was inside of it, and it's a 2-song EP from a band called Graven Image. And he told me about this band. I think I saw him show him on the video or something like that. And he's like, "Man, you're gonna love that band." And I was like, "Cool, I'm gonna put them on my, you know, to watch for list." And I did. Then I got this in the mail from him, and he was right. This is fantastic stuff. Just straightforward heavy metal, bits on the speedy side. You know, kind of like I want to say Heathen's Rage, but most people don't know what Heathen's Rage sound like. But it's in that spectrum. Trying to think of who else it might sound like. I just don't even know who to compare it to. It's just straightforward heavy metal, very clean, but it's got a bit of speed to it. You know, to the point where I almost would call it speed metal. But it's just, you know, like Age of Steel pushes the boundaries of thrash. This doesn't come to the speed of that. Regardless, it's a great album. 2 songs, No Rest and Warn the Children. This particular album has, you know, both songs on both sides, which is also very cool. I'd rather have that than have one song on each side. So, yeah, Graven Image. People in Hell Want Ice Water. And this is a reissue of the original 1984 album. I don't care if it's an original or a reissue. Very glad to have in the collection, and thank you, Metal Theologian. Alright, these last 3 are all from the same band. This is Los Angeles band, and this is the mighty Tyrant. Tyrant. Great band. I always love this band. I always love these albums. They currently have 3 albums out, 2 from the 80s, 1 they released in the 90s, which continued to sound completely, it didn't change their style at all. And these have been issued and reissued many times and sell out as quickly as they come out. These have recently been reissued by Shadow Kingdom Records. I don't know if they're still available. However, if anybody's looking for some, I have a total of 3 copies of each on nolifetilmetalrecords.com if you're interested. So yeah, so we got the classic Too Late to Pray. These are gatefold. They're printed on uncoated stock, which is really nice, and lots of pictures and, you know, all the original stuff. The sound quality is great. I believe this one was on, I think it was on red vinyl. Let me just double check that. Maybe it was bone vinyl. Yeah, it was red vinyl. I was right the first time. So there's the red vinyl. It's kind of translucent. And since I got it open, here's the gatefold, and it's kind of hard to see in here, but the gatefold is signed by Rocky, and it's signed by, it looks like it's signed by everybody but Glenn. So Glenn May did not sign it, but Greg, Rocky, and Stanley all did sign it. So that's pretty cool. Signed in black Sharpie. I'm pretty sure that the copies that are in the store are also signed, but I can't guarantee that. And then here is Legions of the Dead, again on uncoated stock, gatefold. Very nice. This is a single album. Again, this one is autographed. You can see on the inside by again, you got Rob Roy, you got Greg May, and Rocky Rockwell all signing it. And finally, the 1996 album from them, which is absolutely brilliant. I love this album. Can't tell you how many times I've played this thing over and over again, but this is King of Kings from Tyrant. A very, man, it seems like it's all of a sudden got bright. I don't know why. Very, very dark musical album. A lot of religious imagery in here. You know, again, I wouldn't call Tyrant a Christian band, but they do use a lot of religious imagery. They use a lot of, like early Sabbath, you know, kind of those warnings about, you know, about the darkness, about sin, about those kind of things, you know, about denying God. You hear a lot of that in the early Black Sabbath records as well. So I wouldn't doubt that Tyrant were heavily influenced, kind of like Trouble as well. You know, Trouble were never a Christian band, but they kind of always had that biblical imagery going on, and that's kind of what you're going to get with Tyrant. Again, it's gatefold, and this one is also autographed. It's in black Sharpie, so it's kind of hard to see on the black background. But great albums. Like I said, I have 3 copies available. This is on the bone vinyl. On nolifetilmetal.com if anybody's interested. They're a little bit pricey, but it's basically how much they cost to get them to us. So if you're interested, they are there. nolifetilmetalrecords.com. That's it. That's my pickups for the whatever it is, month of it's actually December. Just started December, so we'll say it's a December video. So that's it. Appreciate y'all watching. Going to come back with a No Life to Metal update very soon. Got some big announcements I'm real excited about, and not sure what I'm going to do for my next video. I've had several requests, so I may do another one of the request videos, kind of like the deal when I did the last weekend. I still need to do part 2 of that, so lots of stuff coming up. That's it. Thanks for watching. God bless, and stay strong.